Hello, welcome to Beer Cocktails. I'm your host Pierre. Today we're doing a review on a local brewery of mine, Glasstown Brewery, because we're doing the Clash of the Pumpkins Ale. This comes in about 7.2%, so it definitely has a little bit of a kick. One of their few beers that they actually have to serve in a smaller glass because of like state laws and stuff like that. Jersey sucks for most things, but the fact that we have a brewery literally 20 minutes from my house, that's pretty cool, and they have a lot of different beers. This one actually is one of their seasonal ones. Every year they come out around this time. I wanted to get their Oktoberfest beer, but by the time I got around there, after only 2 weeks, it's sold out. It's that good, the Oktoberfest beer. I had it last year. It's awesome. As soon as I get it, guarantee I'm doing a review on the show because if you can, you gotta go check them out. If you're anywhere near the Millville area, and I'll put a link to their site below, and also you can go on their Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Glasstown Brewery. So there's like a lot of different ways you can get to them. But this one, as I said, it's like 7.2%, so it has a little bit more alcohol than like a standard beer. It's a pumpkin beer. Most pumpkin beers kind of have like a fake pumpkin flavor to it. It just a lot of them don't really use real pumpkins, and they just use like a baseline beer. But let's see exactly how this one tastes. Very well carbonated, that's for sure. If you ever had a pumpkin beer, most of them on average do have that nice dark amber color to it because it uses a lot of real pumpkins in it, so it's not like some fake stuff to it. As far as the smell, it's sweet. You can definitely smell the alcohol coming off that. It's, as I said, it's a little bit stronger than your standard ale, so it's definitely a little more potent. It's sweet. You can smell the pumpkin, the different spices. It's a little bit of a nutty flavor that you usually get with like a nice pumpkin pie. Definitely get some cinnamon out of that. And nutmeg, definitely it's showing through real well. See how it tastes. It has a nice malt backbone to it. It's not overly sweet, but definitely has some sweetness to it. Hop wise, it's a low hop percentage. I don't know exactly what their IBUs is because it doesn't really state on their site or even name the brewery. I can ask them later on. Once I do, maybe I'll add annotation here. So it'll be annotation pending of what their IBUs are if you want to know that. But it's definitely not a really strong hop because most of their beers are IPAs. They have a lot of them with a nice strong hop characteristics. They love to use Warrior hops. Warrior hops is a very good hop to use. Citra hop is another one that had a nice strong like grapefruit flavor to it. A little bit of piney notes. But this one, it's a mellow. And maybe use like a. To me, it tastes like it's an English hop because it has a little bit more of that earthy characteristic that you get a lot of times with that. Maybe like Fugel or Magnum, something that's like a lower IBU. So I would say, given the way this tastes, maybe 18 IBUs. It's not high. I made a Kolsch. Kolsch was about 28 IBUs. So it definitely had a little bit more of a malt characteristic or a hop characteristic, but not really strong. So about 18 with this. But it says it has a nice malt backbone to it. It's sweet. Has a lot of nutty flavors to it. From just gathering of what's in there, you could kind of taste a lot of wheat type of fruit or malts in there. Maybe some pale 2.0. There's like a lot of different 2 rows. There's a lot of different things in this flavor wise that's very good. It has a nice pumpkin characteristic to it. A lot of spices. There's one thing I actually never really made myself. I never made a pumpkin beer. But I do see online where you make pumpkin beers, you basically use real pumpkin. And that's what you get most of that flavor for. And you can do that. You can add your spices, your nutmeg, maybe pumpkin pie seasoning. Just throw that in there probably around the last part of your boil. And you get a nice, great malt characteristic, but not bringing up the IBU or not bringing up the gravity too high. So you can get like a decent, maybe 6-7%. Like this is 7%. Most of my beers I make between 6 and 7. I try to keep around that, so it's a nice, good buzz you get off that beer. But you can kind of drink a few in succession. I mean, it's not a session beer because session beer is looking about 4 to 5%. Now you can drink a few, then you feel perfectly fine. This, you only have maybe a couple of them, and you really start to feel it. But it's actually really good flavor to it. I definitely suggest if you are in the Millville area, Check them out. As I said, this is Clash of the Pumpkins Ale. It should be there at least until the end of October, maybe early November. And if you can, definitely get a hold of their October beer. As I said, last year they were just starting out, so they didn't really have that big of a following. They didn't really have as many people there, so it lasts a little longer. This year, given all the publicity they're getting, the fact that their stuff is in many different companies, like you have Buffalo Wild Wings near my house has it, you have Chicken Pete's has it, tons of different ones. You can also go right to their site and they'll tell you all the ones that you can actually purchase their beer in while it's on tap. But it's definitely something worth checking out. I'm not sure if you can get this on tap anywhere yet right now, because most of theirs, like Buffalo Wild Wings, they have the 856, which they don't even have on their tap anymore. They got the 609. But the 856 is pretty decent. It's 8.56% alcohol. And 906 is definitely about 9.6. So it's definitely a little potent to it. But it's worth checking out. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely head to the brewery. It's a very relaxing atmosphere. You can get the growler. One thing about the growlers, if you already have a growler, you save about $4 or $5 depending on what size you get. Between it's 32 or 64. This one's a 64. Then you got the 32s. But if you bring yours in, as I said, it's cheaper, it's better, and it's definitely worth it though. And guaranteed, if, well, they're saying next week, but if they ever get the October beer in, I get about 3 of these growlers. I'll probably fill all 3. It's that good. But let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Constant Spirit Cocktails. Definitely visit Glasstown Brewery and their site below. But as always, drink responsibly.